Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news. The NFL offseason is always a whirlwind of rumors, speculations, and strategic moves, but this one has caught the attention of many Falcons fans and NFL analysts alike. Word is circulating that the Dallas Cowboys might be looking to shake things up in a big way, and the Atlanta Falcons could be right in the thick of it. According to some reports, specifically from Adam Schefter, the Cowboys are considering trading CeeDee Lamb, one of their most explosive and productive receivers, to Atlanta. Now, I know what you're thinking. CeeDee Lamb is a top-tier talent, one of the most dynamic young receivers in the league, and seeing him in Falcons colors would be a game-changer. But let's break down what's really going on here, because this isn't just about acquiring a star receiver. It's about a strategic move by the Cowboys to clear cap space and retool their team for the future. So what's the scoop? Well, the Cowboys, sitting at a 5-4 record in the 2025 season, have about $21. $2 million over the salary cap, and that's a pretty hefty number to work around, especially with key extensions looming for Prescott, who's earning around $55 million and other core players. This cap crunch has them exploring their options, and CeeDee Lamb, despite an incredible year, is seen as a trade chip. The proposal on the table, as reported, involves the Cowboys offering Lamb in exchange for a third-round pick in the 2026 draft and a fifth-rounder in 2027. The Cowboys are prioritizing youth on their defensive line and see this trade as a way to both free up cap space and build for the future. But it's not without risk, especially given Lamb's current production and reputation as a top 10 PFF-graded receiver in 2025. Lamb's numbers this season are as impressive as ever, with 68 receptions, nearly 0 yards and 10 touchdowns, averaging 14 yards per catch. His PFF grade sits at a solid 92. And he's been a key piece in the Cowboys' offense, especially in the intermediate passing game, where his route-running speed and ability to create separation have made him a nightmare for defenses. His yards after catch at 5.4 yards per attempt, and contested catch rate, with 13 catches in tight coverage, show just how reliable and dangerous he can be. His career stats now sit at over 200 yards and 42 touchdowns, and his injury in Week 7, a wrist issue, limited him to about 73% of snaps, but he's back to full health and looking sharp. What makes this even more intriguing for Falcons fans is how Lamb fits into Atlanta's offensive scheme. The Falcons, at 4-5, are desperate for consistency at the receiver position. Injuries to the offensive line have limited their rushing game, averaging just 3.7 yards per carry, a number that's kept their offense from exploding. Adding Lamb could be the spark they need, projected to boost their passing yards by over 300 and increase EPA per play by nearly 19%. His ability to create space and generate separation, about 3.9 yards on average, could significantly open up the field for Desmond Ridder and the Falcons' offense. Plus, his knack for red zone efficiency, with a +0. 50 EPA in those critical moments, and his 62% success rate in red zone targets would help Atlanta convert more scoring opportunities. This opens up mismatches, especially with Kyle Pitts and Drake London drawing attention on the outside, and it could also revitalize the offense by creating more explosive plays downfield. And speaking of London, the duo of Lamb and London has the potential to become one of the league's top tandems. With YAC, yards after catch, averaging around 10 yards combined, they could stretch defenses vertically and horizontally, making it easier for Ridder to find open receivers and pick apart defenses. This kind of upgrade on the offensive side could be exactly what the Falcons need to push toward playoff contention and maybe even sneak into a deep postseason run. The Falcons' offense, which has been inconsistent at times, especially in the red zone, could see a substantial boost. With Lamb's intermediate route proficiency and quick separation, Atlanta's passing game could become much more reliable, paving the way for sustained drives and more scoring opportunities. Now, you might be wondering about the risks involved. After all, trading a player like Lamb isn't a small move, especially considering the Cowboys' perspective. They're also wary of losing a top talent with the potential to be a franchise cornerstone, but the cap space gain could help them extend Prescott or bolster other positions, particularly on the defensive line, where they're looking for young players to develop. The trade, similar to what the Bills did with Diggs last year, though in a different context, could weaken the Cowboys' aerial attack in 2024, but they see it as a necessary move to rebuild and retool for future seasons. For the Falcons, this trade would be more than just acquiring a star receiver. It would be a statement of intent. The Falcons are already on the cusp of a competitive window, and with the offensive line showing signs of improvement and Desmond Ridder gaining more experience, adding a receiver of Lamb's caliber could accelerate their rise. The NFC South is still very much in flux, with teams like Tampa Bay and New Orleans also vying for playoff spots, but Atlanta's offense could become a nightmare matchup for opponents if they land Lamb. The division is wide open, and a move like this could give the Falcons the edge they need to establish dominance. Looking at the bigger picture, Lamb's addition would not only elevate Atlanta's offense, but also significantly improve their chances in the postseason. The Super Bowl odds, which currently sit around plus 9-0, could see a serious boost with Lamb in the lineup. If he continues to perform at a high level, especially in the playoffs, the Falcons could be in for a deep run, maybe even making a splash in Super Bowl LXI. His ability to generate separation and produce in clutch moments, combined with Atlanta's improving defense, which is creating more turnovers and reducing opponent scoring, makes this a tantalizing possibility. Of course, nothing is set in stone. The NFL offseason always has surprises, and trades of this magnitude are complex, involving negotiations, cap hits, and long-term planning. But the potential impact of adding Lamb to Atlanta's roster is undeniable. It's a move that could redefine the Falcons' offensive identity and propel them into serious contention. With the right pieces around him, Lamb could be the missing link that takes this team to new heights, turning the Falcons into a true powerhouse in the NFC. As we keep an eye on how this story develops, it's clear that Atlanta fans should be excited. The possibility of seeing CD Lamb in red and black isn't just a pipe dream anymore. It's a real option that could reshape the future of the franchise. This kind of move would send a message to the rest of the league that Atlanta is serious about competing now and in the years to come. And if it happens, it will be one of those trades fans will remember for a long, long time, a turning point that could mark the beginning of a new era for the Falcons. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Finally, the fans are always the heartbeat of this team, and your opinion matters so much. What do you think about the possibility of the Falcons trading for CD Lamb? Would he be the perfect piece to push Atlanta over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your take. Are you all in for this move, or do you think it's too risky? Either way, it's going to be an interesting offseason, and I'll be here to keep you posted on every development. Stay tuned for more updates because the Falcons are on the rise, and this season might just be the start of something special. Let's go, Falcons fans.